What's up, everybody? It's your boy Faith in the Strat. Today I got a special treat. I got one of my Discord members who's been killing it trading, with futures and options too, trading SPY and using, Strat and ICT concepts. So I wanted to interview him. All right. So with that said, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, what's going on? My name is Shah. I've been trading for about 2 years now.
Dope, dope.
I want to shout out to the Hungries group and the Oilyboyz. They helped me out tremendously. So
Dope, dope. Yeah. So I had it before, because there's so many people in the Hungries. But obviously, you see, I just be in my section. But I hadn't even noticed you till one day you started talking. Because some people, I noticed in my section, people don't talk a lot. They'll just randomly. So why don't you tell me like how you, I guess, found my section and like how did you start teaching or learning some of the stuff that I teach or that, the stuff I put out, has taught.
um so I first ran across you when y'all had that big Zoom call with crypto and the stock.
Oh,
It was
last
like a
year.
joint call. Yeah, last year. Yeah,
Trading
last
pool or
year.
something like that, where like six people.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a long time. Oh
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think that was back in what, October or something.
Nah, it was earlier. It was like the one with the event where it charged, right? Like it charged people to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like this time last year. It was like the
Was
beginning.
it?
Yeah, maybe April. It was
No, I
early.
don't think so. I don't think so. I think it was like in the fall. Cause I just recently started learning about
Then it
ICT.
might have been something else. It might have been another.
Yeah, but I think it was your day to go, and basically what you was talking about was ICT, and it was something different that I haven't heard of, and
Right.
looking more into it, like it talks about why price moved the way it moved and all that, and it was just something different from the strat.
Facts.
So yeah, I feel like the strat like it shows you like where price is going, but it doesn't really explain like the liquidity, the buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity, and all that market structure, like which is very important. Like I feel like everybody should have some type of knowledge on that, especially if you consider yourself to be, a trader.
Nah, that's
So
facts. That's facts. I did notice that
yeah,
when I first started picking it up, 'cause I started it like early last year, like in April. And I was like, damn, this kind of like explains why. 'Cause I used to always wondered at trading the strat. Like I knew stuff would hesitate through BFs, but like I didn't really understand why. I just expected hesitation versus like this taught me exactly why and where it was likely to hesitate.
yeah, which is crazy. Like and like the setups and stuff. Like I don't even make like I'm so patient now when it comes to trading. Like because I know what to expect. Like I know I kind of like since I know why price moves the way it does. Like I don't try to trade when
Facts.
price is moving sideways and stuff. Like I kind of just wait on my setup. So
Yeah, which is, I always be trying to stay that like trade when your edge is there, which I see a lot of people now are starting to notice that. Like you see me, I be chilling until like a lot of times either PMs or late AMs, because like I like to get this like that reversal out of the kill zone, up
yeah,
or rejection
yeah.
from the previous session, a bounce off of London, a reject off of Asia, blase, blase. But yeah, talk about that because I noticed like you had like one day you got like 148 ticks. I think it was on ES, which is crazy.
Yeah, that was micros actually.
Yeah, I mean, still though, it was still the same thing. Like that's micros. You do it long enough, it can be on regular minis. And for y'all,
Yeah.
that's 37 points. That's about 37 points ES, which would be like $3.70 on the SPY. So that's a crazy, crazy run.
Yeah, I actually hit that a couple times, but my first time hitting it, it was consolidating like for I think overnight in the Asia session, and then in the New York session, it kind of like made an aggressive move
Right.
um towards the buy side liquidity. And I looked to the left and I seen like we had a whole lot of stocks to take out, and the buy side liquidity was actually higher than actually what I expected to be. So I kind of just rode the trail all the way up.
Right. And for y'all who
So
are listening, who don't understand, buy side liquidity will just be the liquidity at the top. That's where we expect to find all the money or buy stops. Sell side liquidity would be all the liquidity at lows, where we expect to find the sell stops.
Yeah.
But nah, that trade was crazy. I saw it. I was like, what the hell? So yeah, let's talk about what's your personal favorite setup ICT, because I know it seems like all of us kind of traded different, things you look for, things like that.
So what I look for is the break of structure.
Right.
I think that's from the 2020 model.
Yep.
So instead of getting in when it breaks out, I kind of wait. Like after it breaks out, I kind of wait until it falls back into a fair value gap, and then that's when I enter. I noticed like before I learned ICT, I used to try to trade breakouts a lot.
Right. And
I
get
used to be
killed.
yeah, and get killed. I used to be impatient about that. So that's probably one of my favorite setups.
Right.
It's really simple. It's so simple. Like
Right.
it can't get more simpler than that.
Nice. And then what time frame do you like to trade on?
Um, Before ICT, I used to trade on like nothing below the 15 minutes. So now that I know and understand ICT, I'm strictly on the 1 to 3 minute now.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I think my
Yeah,
favorite is probably the 2 minute. I just feel like it's real clean.
yeah,
But I do go to the one.
yeah.
Today I was using the 30-second a lot actually, just because I was trying to get like the bottom of the sweep. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like me, sometimes I take more riskier. Like I won't wait for a break. I'll try and catch the wick. But it is a lot riskier. But I know sometimes I can give a crazy reward, because like if my risk is like way down here, I know price won't come back. So I can add on a bunch of contracts. Like, that's always like in the back of my head. Like I can get 10 contracts down here and get a crazy leg up. But
Yeah.
obviously that's a riskier, trade.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good that, you have a system and you're following it. What do you think? How long do you think it took you to start getting confident with it before, like when you learned it, or how long were you practicing?
So I started studying it in like November.
Right.
And while I was studying it, I didn't go live. I was paper trading it. So I probably went live like January. I'd say like the second week of January.
Nice. So you still
And
2 weeks. I mean, 2 months, my bad.
2 months, yes. So about 2 months.
Dope. Did you finish the mentorship?
No,
Nobody has.
it, yeah, that shit just like it's too long,
Right.
and
How far did you
so
get?
I got to like episodes 18,
Right.
episode 18.
But I
Then I
mean,
started going back to his older
concept.
videos.
Yeah, I feel like most of us have done that. Like I watched a lot of 2016, uh,
Yeah.
2020. Also, I watched a lot of other people. That's what really I feel helped me the most, was watching other people who trade liquidity concepts way different, which is why I could
Mm-hmm.
take different trades. I feel like that helped me like a lot, because it just made me fully understand it and understand like the mitigation process and like the steps to it. So like, I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and like that's how we all have different setups. So
Yeah, you don't have to strictly just watch him.
facts, facts. So like when you started, like that's what I want to talk about, because you started with $100. You turned it to
$100.
yeah, you
Yeah.
turned it to 3 grand in like what, a week or 2 weeks?
Um, I cashed out at like 4,000 in 2 weeks.
Oh
So
my,
now I'm restarting with about $50, $60
wow, that's crazy.
to
So
see
you
if I can do it all again.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a 40x 4,000% return. Like first off, congratulations, good job to you. I'd like that's crazy.
Thank you.
That's insane. 4,000% account growth is nothing to be taken lightly. So when you with that account, had you practiced before? You had practiced on demo, or was it like you just like, hey, I'm just go live with this 100 and see?
Yeah, before that I was practicing for 2 months.
Oh,
Trading
nice. Oh, okay. So
yeah,
that whole two
demo.
months you weren't
Yeah.
just studying, you were back testing.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of that. So I work nights, so on my night shift at work, I would just get on the computer and just back test a lot, watch some videos. So that
Oh,
helped out.
that's good. You have a job where you
Yeah.
can do that. Yeah, that's why always put on my screen this because I'm like you can know it, but until you start trading it, it ain't gonna matter. Like knowledge ain't experience. So that's good that you know
Yeah, yeah,
because knowing it and understanding liquidity is different than trading it live and seeing the candles paint, especially because some candles paint way more aggressive than others. And like one thing I feel like they don't talk about is like, even though we know there's liquidity, we understand the aggression, but it's like the people who move the market, it's like they know, and they'll sometimes fake us out. There's obviously a lot of smart money traps and things like that. So like, it's good. We have to learn to protect our accounts, and trade accordingly to the market conditions.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like with the ICT too, like with the stop loss is not a lot of
Point.
risk too involved.
Right. Right. Okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah, perfect. Like that's actually wanted to get into because you took the macro, so that was first off a great choice. What's your like, I guess, game plan when you trade for the micros when you started versus now? Like how many contracts? What was your risk to reward setup, and how many trades were you trying to take a day? General trading plan at the time.
So I will only take one trade a day.
Fire.
And I started with $100. I think I had got my first trade. I had got like 80 something ticks, and I
Wow.
only had one contract.
Right.
And then
20 points.
yeah, 20 points. So then I guess as my account grew, I would just add an extra contract. And sometimes on trades, on pullbacks, I
Mm-hmm.
would add more contract like leveraging.
Nice, nice, nice. Oh,
Yeah.
so like you're talking about like, when we would break out, if you caught like an early breakout and then we pulled into FEG, you would add to it.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah. I'm still on the fence. Sometimes I switch, like sometimes I stack, and then other times, I fully go in and partial out. I'm still myself figuring out which one I prefer. But yeah, definitely, I think it depends on the day because there's some days where it's
Yeah.
really good. Like here you could have got in and there was a nice stacking opportunity here midway through lunch where you could have added. So
I mean, the last couple of weeks, there's been some good setups to where you can just
yeah,
add, like you just go right up, like
yeah,
it's crazy.
I feel like especially during the lunch hour or like the hour after lunch, I feel like we've been having a lot of, crazy good setups. I mean, you look at FOMC, the setups were crazy. We had these 2 minute.
Man, I was so mad that I missed that actually.
Oh yeah, you did. What did you say? I didn't notice.
um, I forgot to set a sell limit because I was actually gonna trade from my phone because I was out of town due to work and stuff. So I
Right.
was just trading on my phone and I forgot to set a sell limit
Oh,
and it bounced off like because I also use the Fibonacci retracement tool. So it
right.
bounced off like the 50% level and the fair value gap. So like
Shit, 50% of what?
the um the
To,
Fibonacci retracement tool.
no, I meant like what candle though? Like 50% of the day.
That candle
This one.
that three candle. I think that's it right there. It was a three candle and it was like right at 240. Like
Oh,
right after the FOMC.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
for me that's like 11, but yeah. And I'm just on a different time frame. It was probably like on the 1 or the 2. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
that shit was crazy. We also
Yeah.
ran into, I think there was a volume imbalance here. I had one way down here that we didn't touch, but on NQ, I don't know if you saw Jackson posted it, but there was a 4 hour one. So I wish, I would have had that chart that day. That was the one day I didn't chart NQ, and so I didn't notice it. Which I think I've seen you trade. Do you trade NQ or ES, or are you back and forth?
No, I've never traded NQ. I never even thought
Oh,
about charting NQ. I think I'm gonna start though.
oh, okay. Maybe I thought I saw wrong. It's just the ME. So yeah, and so right now, are you still only sticking with MES, or have you switched to ES?
I haven't switched to ES yet. I had started over, so right now
Right,
my
right.
account
So
is
now
like
you
at
back
two
to
hundred dollars. Yeah,
wow, and you started over with 100, right? Or 50?
$50.
How long ago was that?
That was Monday.
Wow. So yeah, you're on track to do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like now they can't say as much
Yeah,
2 or 3 times.
yeah.
That's incredible. So what do you feel helped you like in your learning process of learning ICT that helped you, learn it faster or make you more confident? Because I noticed like some of you guys been learning fast. Like I'd be like, how?
Um, I would say just all those nights just back testing, watching videos, watching your videos,
Right.
just always in
And
the chat, just
yeah, yeah.
in yeah, chat, just looking at what y'all talking about. At first, I used to be in your chat. I didn't know what you was talking about. I didn't know what buy side liquidity was, what order blocks was, none of that.
Yeah.
So,
It's hard too for me because like honestly, I mean I've been doing the strat now for years, and then now I'm doing this. So it's coming up on a year doing this, and it's like I know so much, but I don't know where everybody's at the same time. Like I just expect everybody knows a strat, and then with this, like
mhm,
people don't know, so I have to always kind of go back, and I never know where people are at. But like now I'm glad because when people ask me stuff, I know like most of y'all in there gonna answer it for them, so it's a lot easier. But
yeah,
I like the fact that it's like a learning community. That's what somebody told me. They're like, yeah, you gotta think when you learned that because yeah, when I learned it, like it wasn't really. I just learned on a fluke. Like I think I heard Alex Options talk about it, so I just started studying it. Like, and I didn't even want to trade it. I just was like, I'm curious, because I thought it was a part of the strat at first, the way people were talking about it.
mhm.
And
But it goes well with the strat, which is
I mean,
crazy.
yeah, which is it makes sense because it's about liquidity and smart money, and then the strat.
Hmm.
Rob says all the time that the strat isn't real. It's not TA, it's quant. So it makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. I would love to see a combo between the two of them, but it probably would never happen. But it'll be a cool combo because I mean, liquidity, broad information. Which my presentation. Remember, I was saying that like I'm always looking for a lower low or higher high, and an aggression. So, and at that time, I feel like I was like novice in ICT concepts versus now. But I feel like it really helps, make sense of the market. Like it's rare. Don't get me wrong. I can be wrong on a trade. Like today, I almost got killed in loans because I was, this move was exhausted and I took buy side, and I didn't see we came into
Hmm.
a weekly order block because I charted off of the quarterly instead of the continuous. And that's another thing. I always use the continuous because you can see everything from the past versus the
Yeah.
quarterly kind of moves things over because it's a quarter, so you'll miss certain things. So I just didn't see it. We tapped it in this,
And
sell.
fail, yeah.
I'm so mad I missed the sell, which I tried to count.
Man, that was crazy. I was
Right.
just watching though. I was in the car driving. I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah. Which I actually got 6 contracts at the bottom and counter trended, and then it held and
mhm.
started to fall. I cut it. But like imagine I got 6 contracts from up here. You know, I wasn't expecting, a move like that's 42 points. So, but it's cool because before when I would trade, sometimes like when stuff would happen, I would be like, what the fuck was that? Like, why did that happen? It makes no sense. Versus now I know exactly why. Or if I miss it,
Yes.
right, you're just like, oh, I look back, that's why. That's what I didn't see.
Yeah. Now you know what to look for next time. Like,
Yeah, and that's why if you guys notice, I always try and review the day. So even though there's a lot of trades I didn't take, I'm still reviewing because it's gonna help sharpen my mind and see better setups. So what's your goal with this account? Are you gonna cash out again? Are you going to just keep growing this? Do you want to just stick?
this one, I would probably just keep growing it. I won't cash out too much. Probably just like a percentage at the end of the week,
That's smart.
or every 2 weeks. Because I eventually want to start trading ES.
Yeah.
I feel like
I just
I would
YOLO
want my account over 5K
right before EA.
first to trade. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're using Trade of A too, right? The actual
You said what?
you're using Trade of A too, right?
Yeah, I even
Yeah.
trade with it.
So yeah, every ES is like 500, so you can get like 10 contracts with five.
Hmm.
Which I mean, I feel like most people don't need 10. I feel like, even ICT, I think he only uses like 10, and he said he doesn't need 10 to make a 20K day. So yeah, I feel like that's the thing people don't get. 5K on a futures account is way different than 5K on options because 5K on options you got PDT or a cash account. So you could buy your SPS contracts, but you're only gonna get a few of them unless you're getting them, later in the day or out the money. So you're kind of limited versus future. You can just non-stop trade. As long as you ain't blowing your money, you're at least breaking even. You could
Yeah, exactly.
your 5K might as well be, 100K. So I love that, especially like what you did with $50. That you could have still did it with SPX, but it just took so much longer because you would have had one trade. Which you do take one trade, but I'm pretty sure there's probably days you took more than one trade. Like me, I'm the type of person I think I take about 2 to 4 trades a day. It's so it's gonna depend on
Yeah,
your
1 and 2 for sure. I
yeah.
really don't have time to just sit there and watch the
So
screen.
so,
So
so yeah, are you when you're trading, are you working or like during the day, or what are you doing during the day that you don't have time?
yeah, so I'm usually working. I have 2 jobs. So I work a night job and then I have like a little work from home job. So I
Oh,
kind of look at the screen. Yeah, I kind of look at the screen from like 9 to lunch.
mm-hmm.
And then pretty much after lunch, I'm kind of busy. So
Oh, okay. Oh, you're Eastern
yeah,
time, right?
yeah.
Okay, so you mostly trade the AMs then.
Mhm.
Nice. So, I mean, that's very interesting for because people always ask me, but I haven't had a job in a long time. But you for firsthand, how do you find success trading while also having a day job? What are some things you do?
Um, I don't know. I really use my time at night
Mhm.
to really lock in and study and go over price action and stuff. And I execute it like when I have time during the day. So
Right.
I try to keep it consistent because like this is something I eventually want to do, quit my 9 to 5 and want to do for a living. So I just gotta keep it consistent and just continue to sharpen my skills. So I try
Right.
not to miss the trading day. I try to always look at the charts whenever I can and just like continue to put in the work.
Yeah. So you said you're trading from 9 and you're Eastern time, right?
Yeah, I'm Eastern.
Okay, so you're trading from like right about here, 30 minutes before options, options and stocks start trading. So do you like to trade, the pre-market for them? Are you waiting for reversal? Are you waiting to the end of lunch? Or I mean to the start of lunch? What are your prime times, do you think, for the AMs?
Um, I would probably say like I'm looking at the charts around 9 setting up. I don't actually get into the trade till the options start. So my trade will probably take place like around 10
Nice.
to 11:30, something like that.
And that's good because usually by then you have so much data on the day,
Hmm.
and like that's what one thing ICT talks about, like, which I mean I still do, and he does talk about it in his older ones using a higher time frame, but at the same time, when you know this, like, you don't technically need much more because the PA to the left can build is already structured built for a price to,
Yep.
I kind of think of it like a spider web that we're like reconnecting. Like there's a frame on the outside, and then as we go on the day, we're kind of connecting the web, like, if that makes sense. Like we're filling it out,
Yeah.
all these legs. So, by then the lows are kind of set in and the highs, like Al Brooks says, the initial balance. And then it's kind of like you understand your daily bias and you take it from there.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. So that's good. So like where do you see yourself in a few months trading like this? Quitting your job,
Um,
paying off some bills? What are your goals?
Definitely want to quit my job by the end of the year. Um,
Awesome. I definitely see you doing it.
yeah, especially at this rate that I'm going.
Does
Kind
your
of just practice more risk management.
right? Does your family or anybody know that you've been killing it like this, or
Mm, no, I kind of just keep it low key.
right? Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to like get
yeah,
stressed out
especially
about it because they're gonna
yourself
be
doing
like, "Oh, make me an account. Can you help me out and all that?" Like,
it.
I don't really don't want to deal with that right now.
Yep. Yeah. Nah, definitely. I definitely don't blame you for that. Now, do you still trade options or are you only doing futures?
Right now, I'm only doing futures. I really want to get back into option trading just to swing trade.
Yeah, that's what I do a lot
So
with options.
yeah,
Yeah, I
so
still trade.
like
buying SPX a lot too, but I still use ICT, but it's like I just have a different mindset kind of when I'm trading the options with them. Like my risk can be a lot looser with options.
Yeah. I
You know,
see that. I see you and Jackson doing that too. I think that's pretty smart because you're basically looking at the same price action. So
right? Yeah, like options, it kind of allows me to take riskier trades because I can only go to zero and like like a leg like this. These puts down here were probably less than a dollar. They were probably 50, 20, 25 cents, 50, 65. I doubt they were a dollar. So like with futures, obviously if you see a move like this come down, you're kind of scared of the retracement and you want to get like that exact move. Versus options, I can just catch it like, oh, I'm gonna get in, my stop is just up here. I'm gonna take like a
yeah,
20% loss, but I can get contracts super cheap where even if the loss is more like 50%, as long as you're not at the money contract, you don't really care because you can, if you just put, not bet, but like if you take a few of these, obviously a certain amount are gonna lose, but like you only need like a 2 or 3 winners, and it's just gonna be like a 10x every time, 5, 10x. You saw he got like 400% on that drop.
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, and then like even if you were even if you were on the wrong side of the trade, like you were shorting, you were trying to short, and then this wick came and kind of stops you out. Like on options, you don't really care. On futures, it's like being short, and then like this wick coming can cost you a gang of money. That's why I be telling people like that's the hard.
Yeah,
Like this shit would literally
your
most
account can be liquidated.
yeah, yeah, it happened to me once. That shit was not fun. I was like, and it was crazy because I'm like, if I was in options, that trade would have made me money. It was a trade where I was on the wrong side, but I could tell I had a bad entry and I doubled down. And I was like, no, we don't go higher. And then boom, I got hit with a candle like this, liquidating me for the day. Damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think you should definitely keep it up. You've been killing it. Do you have any like any, special tips or anything you would like to recommend to people who are learning right now?
I would say don't give up. Just be consistent at looking at the charts. I feel like yeah, I feel like the longer you like study price action, like put more time into it, like the more you're gonna like the quicker you're gonna get it. That's what I feel like.
Facts. Like he said, study price, I always study price already, but like this is just, it's different. Like you can really see the delivery part of it.
Hmm.
It kind of makes you like when you see other people just saying off stuff, it kind of makes you just smirk because you're like, man, that person's about to get killed.
Yeah.
Or like what I like about this system is so straightforward where like even though it's a little complicated, it's very hard to stay in the wrong side of a trade. Like you can take the trade, like me, I've taken trade either too early or too late, but I knew right away. But like it's hard to be in a trade and double down on the wrong side. Like cause that means you just literally didn't listen for the most part. Because
Exactly. Like you know when a reversal is gonna come.
right, outside of the shift of the structure, one of the main things we look for is displacement. So if you see
Hmm.
displacement against you with a level locked in, that it's like, what are you doing?
Right.
So I I definitely agree with that part, you know. But like I said, you've been doing great. You representing for the queens out there, and also for the people who are who still work and trade. Like that's fire. In 2 weeks you'd have made the average American's monthly trading part time.
Yeah. The blessing.
Yeah, and with 50, imagine if you would have started with 500.
Right?
So
But I'm just taking my time. The market's always gonna be here, so there's no
facts.
reason to rush.
Yep. Yeah, you have the right mindset. That's why I try to like drill into people's heads. I'm like, because people, like a lot of, I mean, I think it's just once you've been trading like, at least over a year and a half or two, you kind of see there's no point in rushing. Once you've lost enough, you'll
Yeah.
calm your ass down. Like
You
that's what I
get
tell
tired of
them.
losing.
Yeah, I also feel like,
You gotta get
after,
tired of losing.
yeah, also I just feel like, like even me when I was newer, I was kind of reckless, and then I got good, but then I was kind of scared of taking certain trades. But then, like, once you get to a point where you don't, excuse my French, but give a fuck anymore, like, I feel like you can almost do anything trading. And like, to be honest, that point usually doesn't come until you just lose a lot of money. Like, once you've been kind of like destroyed yourself trading, is like when you really start to rebuild with rules and discipline, and you just know those feelings. So like, like most of us, you see, we don't really have, especially like in my Discord, you never see us chasing earnings, FOMO news, random thing. We just patient and we wait for our setups and we execute. Like I said, the market's gonna be here. It's been here before us, way before us. It's been here before this country. Literally, there's been other markets traded, forever. Like I'm talking like early man, 1600s. These patterns, they present themselves over and over. And it's gonna be here way, way after us. So, like, what's the rush? Why not master it? I think that's the number one thing people do is they're just so desperate to make money because it's like deep down they know. I feel like when people are that desperate, it's because deep down they know that success they are gonna have, they're not gonna be able to replicate. Versus like when you really aim to master it, it's like I want a skill that like you could drop me anywhere with a phone and a couple hundred and I'll be back, in a few months to a year. I don't want to rush. I want to master the skill.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Right. Yeah, because that's when you become a printer. Because, like I said, you just look at the market and, you set your alerts and you go to work, And like I said, I like how you do the AMs because that's your schedule. Like me, I try the AMs and then usually around lunch I wait. And then I try and get a good leg or two in the PMs. Fortunately, I don't work. But when I was working and trading, I kind of did a similar style. Like I would just take the first 30 minutes to hour, I'll take the 30-minute breakout and I'll take the 30-minute reversal. When I very first started, even before I was a stratter, and then I would look for days that trended and play that. But, I wish like, 2020 when I started, I knew this because I would probably be like a billionaire because it was so easy.
Yeah, this is eye-opening. Like this really
Right.
changes the game.
Yeah, and I always tell
feel
people
like everybody needs to look into this, especially
facts.
if you don't know why price is moving the way that it does.
Right. And I feel like this, it's it's only gonna get easier, not only because you're gonna get better with time, but like this is historically like one of the hardest markets to trade. That's what everybody's saying. I've noticed this a lot harder than before. So imagine when it gets easy, like when we break out and we just start trending for days and days, like kind of like we did these last two, it's gonna, like this day was very simple, leg down, up, sideways, and leg down. Very simple pattern. But I remember when I started in 2020, I felt like almost every day was just a giant, on any bearish day was just a giant V-shaped recovery. Or it might get a W or a U. Like, so just so easy. Because every day was obviously two up and we were just retracing it to the previous day before bouncing. Versus these days. But the thing too, we learned with this, even if we don't have an optimal day, we can tell right away, like this. I remember when this was happening, like before, I would definitely try and trade this. Even as a
Me too.
like I would know this isn't good, but I would just, I'm gonna take a reverse. And now I'm just like, I just look at this like I'm like, which I'm
like,
thinking,
what is this?
Yeah, it's funny. Look at that wicks on both ends. You could see it's clearly a downtrend, but like it's just so sloppy. Like why?
Yeah, it's too many wicks.
Especially
Way
now.
too many wicks.
Yeah, doing this, I like to think about it as like risk to reward. Like I know that's a giant flag, so why even try? Because if I get on the wrong side of this, I'm screwed. And also, like, where would I be putting my stops? Like, where's my stops and where's what I'm aiming for?
No, for real.
This part of strat would have been a break up there, but like, what am I aiming for? And like, nah, you're like negative risk to reward. Couldn't, nope, not for me. So I like the fact that we could set up really, really precise trades. So
yeah, and all you have to do is be patient. That's
yeah,
really it.
yep, yeah. I like to aim for like 3 to 1s. I look for trades where I'm doing at least 3 to 1. But like right here, this was I think like a 6 or 7. So I love the bigger legs that get presented with price. What do you do to stay patient? Like, or what can you tell somebody who's not patient that would help them?
Uh, well, I
Or,
don't know. I don't really
or you
do
just naturally a
anything
patient person?
special. I I wasn't at first, but now I am because I know what to look for. I would just say like just find your setup,
Facts.
the setup that you like, and just wait for that setup to present itself. There's no reason to just hop in the trade just because like you know that setup is gonna happen because price repeats itself. Like it does it all the time.
Yeah,
So you
especially when
should,
you look back. Especially with your setup, how you're waiting for the break and structure and the retracement into it. I'm guessing your win rate's got to be super high.
yeah.
You got to be like a 90% win rate because I feel like I'm
It
more.
has been.
That's great. Yeah, like I'm a 70% win rate when I look at the trade of it gives you your win rate, and I use TradeZilla. On average, I'm about like a 70%, but it works for me because I know I'm an aggressive trader and I know how to like counter a loss and vice versa. But if you're 90, like that's great. That means you're very patient and you just take that one or two and you know
Going
execute.
about today.
Yeah, it's crazy too because people who have 90 like those high win rates, technically you guys could take lower R trades. Like you could take 1-to-ones because you have a 90%, so you're gonna still be profitable. Versus like me, if I took a 1-to-one, like it would be hard to stay profitable, even a 1-to-2 at times because the human factor. There's times you mess up and it's literally not your fault. Like yesterday, I had 2 losers, and I didn't even know because there was a trade of a glitch where I was on the wrong side of a trade and it looked like I was on the right. Stuff happens,
Oh,
but it's always good to know like the type of trader you are. So that's bravo to you because you have a high win rate and you're patient. You know what you look for. Only step now is to slowly increase your size, and you got it. And just now that you have your edge, never change it. You can add to it, but don't change it. That's one thing I tell people. Like once you have your edge with trading, like you don't want to change.
yeah. Like why mix it up when it's working for you?
Right. Which is why you see, like I still use the strat like a lot, especially outside
Mm-hmm.
of CT. I'm pretty much if it's just stocks, I don't really use ICT to be honest. I use more pure strat. Um,
Yeah, I still have my Strat candles on. So
yeah, like me, I've turned my strat candles off a long time ago. 'Cause I just been doing the strat so long, you know. But like I said, I'll still like 2-2 reversal right here if I miss an entry, all the time. I'll be like, oh, two down,
hmm
two up. Inside break, 3-2-2. I love to take strat reversals when they're like clean off a level. And me, I like to take a lot of times I take entries off order blocks or mitigations or breakers more than FVGs. So like I have a problem with FVG. like like me, I think it's just
Really?
heck yeah, I hate FVG entries. It's funny because at first I used to always enter them, and then after a while, I think it's just futures. I just stop. Like I just don't like them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm always looking for like
It's
some type of
almost
like
every time.
yeah, I'm always looking for like an order block or like a level that I enter off of. To be honest, like I'll look for a raid, and like a lot of times I'm getting in before the displacement candle. To be honest, like I don't know how to explain it. I just I'm an aggressive trader, like I said, and I don't know. I just don't like waiting for the retracement a lot because I hate when I get left. That's what I think it is. Like when I first started, I used to get left so much, and that shit pissed me off. Like because a lot of times in forums, breakaway gaps, like right here, where
Yeah.
it didn't come back in it till here. So I definitely remember when I started having a lot of these where just price will run, and I'm like, bro, what the, you know?
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because it's
I
hard
mean,
to
there's
know.
a fair value gap on every time frame though. So
Yeah, that is true. But I feel like it's hard to know when there's gonna be like an OTE versus just a regular
mhm.
50%. And me, I think I always try and like get the OTE. So after a while, I just feel like, oh, you know what, I'll just do something different. Like I just don't like to wait. But now there is like here on the 5, you see this FEG, but on the 1, it probably came deeper into one of these candles.
Yeah.
So definitely agree. But it's what works for you. Like me, I'm real good at kind of understanding what's happening. Like I can just look and see where they're trying to build liquidity. Like right here, I knew once I saw this, I just think about how hard it would be to trade this and how much money they're making. So I know when they purge this liquidity, it's unlikely they'll need to come back. That's kind of how I trade. Same thing here. We came into a weekly high, weekly draw on liquidity. This wick, which was actually a monthly reversal wick on the monthly time frame we reached into. So once again, look at, there was no real major retracement. We didn't need to. This is monthly level monthly liquidity up here. So I think it's whatever works with you. That's what I like about ICT is like a lot of people, we traded the same, but a lot of us traded very differently too. I've noticed that. Like I've seen people traded very unique. Especially people who are more smart money, they're the ones who will like just wait and wait and wait and wait. And at the end, like there's probably a smart money trader who was waiting for us to come into this level, who went like
just to short it.
Oh fuck yeah, who went like, because that's what like the more you trade, you'll see it. Like when you're gonna transition from like having like a fixed risk to like playing with your risk on certain trades where they're more probable. Like there's probably somebody who went in this with like 10R or something like that, crazy risk with a super tight stop, and then just like 30R on this trade, something crazy. So like I said, it's always a journey. You're really you trading against other people, but you're really trading against yourself more than anything. You trade against like your impatience, your fear, your greed, etc. Actually, that's one thing. Did you deal with any of those emotional issues before trading ICT concepts, and like how do you deal with them now?
Yeah, I would say that I dealt with fear of missing out because I used to hop in trades like wherever. Like I really didn't have like a real setup. I just see like a 2-on-2 in the middle of a consolidation, hop in, get killed.
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing I see with a lot of people when they first learn the strat. They're like, "Oh, like Yearn, why did this reversal not work?" And I'm like, "Bro, you were dead center in consolidation.
Right.
Like people just take reversals, but instead of understanding like where in the range we are and what you're reversing to, like there was a bullish and a bearish reversal, and a bullish and a bearish 1,000 times
right next to each other.
as the smaller you go down, but where also time of day. This was lunch hour. So
I used to trade during lunch hour a lot.
Right, price and time. That's huge. Even me, before I knew there was lunch, but I would still trade it, but I would notice no volatility until now where it's just like I don't trade it. Like unless I get an early entry, I might get like a quick scalp if I see it. But for the most part, I don't trade it. I just wait. Especially now adding that I look at the day as two different parts. I think that has changed everything for me is, when the PM starts, I literally look at it as like, this is just a new day. That's how I trade it. So run on stops, aggressive, sell down. It's it makes it very simple. So
very simple.
Yep. Anything you wanted to add before you go? Or any shout outs, any advice you want to give, anything?
Last advice, I mean, if I can do it, I know anybody else can do it. I work 2 jobs. You just gotta, like, if you really want it, you just gotta stick to it. That's what I would say.
Hey, shout out to you for real for working 2 jobs and doing it. Like I said, when I started, I was just running my business, which was hard, but working 2 jobs, obviously you got to be extremely tired, and you're still, studying at night, and you're still getting your reps in during the market. So that's a big, accomplishment. Like I said, that shows you guys, it can be done. You can still work, have a career, do whatever you want, and still make this dream happen to where you don't have to, or it's, it's by choice. I still meet with clients, but it's the ones I want to now. I don't really have to. That's what the market provides us, and it also provides. I mean, it's like an ATM. Especially, I feel like with futures, like options is like I feel like it's a lot of waiting. Most stocks just move too slow for me. Like I get bored. Like, bruh, they pull back. I'm like,
that's why if I ever do trade option again, I would rather just swing trade.
Yeah, yeah. It's either swing. That's what I do. It's either swings or SPX because it still is moving. Like the trending of options is like stocks is just so boring to me versus trading liquidity, which is why now, I'm always just trading things that move extremely fast because it's like if you can just get your timing right and you understand the key timing windows, kill zones, lunch hour, the reversal after lunch, the reversal after the
Hmm.
kill zone, there's always like one to two, sometimes 2 to 4 major legs where you can just in like 10 minutes, hop in and bang out, and get your money. Like I really feel like futures more than
That's
anything,
true.
it feels like an ATM machine, doesn't it? Like you could just make money. Like
Yeah, and there's no data burn. That's what I
right.
love.
Yeah. This was an hour for this move. And like I said, this was like 40 points. So like futures have been positioned and you knew about the timing window, which is 30 minutes after lunch. You expect a level to get locked or reversal to happen. Two contracts of ES is 4,500, and I like to buy four. So this would have been a 9K trade. Like think about that. Like when
Yeah.
you you just make money. Like I don't know how to explain it, man. Futures is like options is an ATM. I always tell people options is like an ATM. Futures is like robbing an ATM. Like it's just like even
You
like
robbing the
even
bank.
right. Even when when I first started with it, because I was like doing like an audition for a firm. Like they had like a account where like I couldn't get drawback, like I couldn't take it here and it pulled back and it count against me. I was just scalping on the 1 minute, like anything, like okay, down, up candle, boom, 500, close. Okay, up candle down, boom, five. Like you can just make the money so quick, and because sometimes with options, those moves they're not going to be enough to move your contract. Future, you don't have to worry about that. It's just straight points. Like no
Great
BS,
point.
straight PA, straight points. So I encourage y'all to definitely learn it. You know, we've been going crazy in my section of in Hungries and in my Discord, Oilyboyz, where we teach Strat, ICT, nonstop. If y'all want to take your time to learn it, please stop by. Shout out to Sha. She's been killing it. So the real sniper, like Jackson is dead. Dude was like, "Are you
Appreciate
good?"
it.
I'm like, "She kills it." Like, what the hell? That shit was
Yeah,
funny.
he kind of blew me with that. I'm trying to help him out.
I'm
Like,
not gonna lie, that
you
had
don't
me
know what nobody knows
right,
in
right.
this chat.
Facts. Yeah, yeah. Because hey, no cap, I was like, damn, they really be studying in here. Especially I remember because I was gone for like a month. I had like family issues and like I saw y'all would like tag me like, yo, you good? But y'all was still killing it. There's a lot of info there to kill it, and I'm gonna just keep putting out info. So, keep grinding, y'all. Like I said, once again, shout out Shaw. It's your boy Faith in the Strat, and I'm out. All right.
I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.